Hello, developers. As a UI developer, I share the concepts and challenges I've encountered in real-world projects. When we talk about SVG, there are many different tags: circle, rectangle, line, polygon, and more. But among all these, there's one tag that stands out. One tag that gives you the power to draw almost anything: lines, curves, complex shapes, icons, and illustrations. That tag is the path tag. It's the most versatile, the most commonly used, and once you understand it, you unlock the real power of SVG. In this video, we'll focus entirely on the path element. We'll decode how it works, understand each command it uses, and learn how a few simple letters can create powerful graphics. But first, before we even talk about drawing, we need to understand a few essential attributes inside an SVG. First, let's understand the basics. Think of an SVG as a digital canvas. The path tag is your pencil, and its D attribute holds the drawing instructions. Let's talk about important basics. First, what is XMLNS? It stands for XML namespace. It tells the browser that this code follows the SVG rules. Without it, the browser might not recognize our SVG correctly. It usually looks like http www.w3.org 2000 SVG. Always include it when embedding SVG directly into our HTML. Now, what is ViewBox? It defines the internal coordinate system of the SVG. It's written as 4 numbers: minimum X, minimum Y, width, and height. It controls how our shapes scale and fit inside the SVG container. Without ViewBox, our SVG can become distorted when resized. What is fill? It controls the color inside our shapes. For example, fill red will paint the inside area red. If you don't want any color inside, set fill to none. What is fill rule? It decides how overlapping parts of shapes are filled. The two main options are non-zero and even odd. Non-zero is the default. It fills based on path direction. Even odd fills based on how many times a line crosses a path. Knowing these basics sets up everything else we're about to do. Now that we understand the foundation, let's move into the heart of today's video: SVG path commands. Now that you know the canvas, let's dive into the drawing commands. SVG commands come in 2 flavors: uppercase letters for absolute positioning, like GPS coordinates; lowercase letters for relative movement, like walking 10 steps forward from where you are. We'll focus on absolute commands first, because they are easier to understand when starting. Let's start with the M command. Think of it like holding a pen above a blank sheet of paper. You haven't drawn anything yet, you're just deciding where to begin. That's exactly what M does. It moves your invisible pen to a new starting point without actually drawing anything. Example, when you write M, X equals 100, Y equals 50, you're telling SVG, move over to X position 100 and Y position 50 and get ready to draw. No line appears yet, you're just positioning your pen gently at the starting location. Now once your pen is placed, it's time to actually draw your first line, and that's where the L command comes in. L says, draw a straight line from where I am right now to the next point I give you. Example, we start at X equals 400. Y equals 100. Then draw a line to X equals 550, Y equals 300. Then draw another line to X equals 250, Y equals 300. And finally, we use Z to close the shape. It's like playing connect the dots. Each L connects 2 points with a straight line. And when you use Z, it automatically draws the last line back to your starting point, sealing the shape cleanly. In this case, it would create a perfect triangle. Sometimes you don't want to move diagonally, you just want a pure straight line sideways, or up and down. That's where H and V come in. H stands for horizontal. It moves your pen left or right along the x-axis while keeping Y constant. V stands for vertical. It moves your pen up or down along the y-axis while keeping x constant. Example, we move to X equals 300, Y equals 150. Then draw a horizontal line across to X equals 1500. Then draw a vertical line straight down to Y equals 350. You've now created an L shape, one stroke across and one stroke down. Simple, precise, perfect for sharp right angles. All right, now things get a little more artistic. The C command lets you draw beautiful curves with full control. Imagine this, you have two invisible magnets pulling on your line, bending it into shape. Those magnets are called control points. With C, you specify the first control point pulling the beginning of the curve, the second control point pulling toward the end, and the final point where the curve finishes. Example, we use the command move to x equals 150 and y equals 300. Then curve with C, first control point at x equals 250, y equals 100. Second control point at x equals 450, y equals 500. Ending at x equals 550, y equals 300. The curve starts at position 150, 300. It first gets pulled toward the first control point at 250, 100, which pulls the curve upward sharply. Then it bends toward the second control point at 450, 500, pulling the curve downward and outward. And finally, it smoothly lands at the end point, 550, 300. It's like pulling a flexible string up sharply and then bending it outward into a dramatic swooping curve. It's like guiding a flexible string with two hands, pulling it into a beautiful arc. The S command makes curves even easier. It continues a cubic curve smoothly, without needing to manually set both control points again. SVG automatically mirrors the previous control point, making the next curve flow naturally from the previous one. Are perfect for drawing flowing waves or organic shapes. Example, start with a C curve, then use S, and your pen glides effortlessly into the next curve without any harsh angles. It's like your pen just keeps flowing without interruption. Now let's simplify curves even more. Q curves are simpler than cubic curves. Instead of two control points, you only need one control point and one endpoint. Imagine just one invisible magnet pulling your curve toward it. Example, we use the command move to x equals 200 and y equals 300, then curve with Q. Control point at x equals 400, y equals 100. Ending at x equals 600, y equals 300. The curve starts at position 200, 300. It gently bends upward toward the control point at 400, 100, pulling the middle of the curve upward. Then it smoothly finishes at 600, 300. It creates a large, smooth arch, perfect for wide, elegant curves like hills, bridges, or flowing paths. The T command works just like S, but for quadratic curves. It continues a Q curve smoothly, reusing the last control point's direction automatically. Example, after using a Q, you can write T, x equals 350, y equals 100, and the curve will continue flowing naturally, symmetrical and smooth, perfect for continuous wave patterns. Now let's talk about a very special command, A for arc. Arcs let you draw slices of circles or ellipses, perfect for rounded shapes, semicircles, or pie charts. It's a bit technical because you must tell SVG the radius along 10th, the radius along y, the rotation, whether it's a large arc or a small arc, whether the sweep is clockwise or counterclockwise. Example, we use the command move to x equals 300 and y equals 250. Then use A to draw an arc with a radius x equals 100 and radius y equals 100. Rotation is 0 degrees. Large arc flag is 0, meaning we choose the smaller arc. Sweep flag is 1, meaning we draw the arc clockwise, ending at x equals 500 and y equals 250. This draws a smooth half-circle arc, moving perfectly horizontally from left to right. Because both radius x and radius y are equal, it creates a perfect semicircle rather than an ellipse. If you tweak the large arc flag or the sweep flag, you can create different variations, bigger arcs, smaller arcs, clockwise or counterclockwise sweeps. It's like carefully sculpting a precise slice of a circle, exactly the way you want it. Finally, we have Z. The Z command simply connects the last point back to the starting point, automatically drawing the final closing line. You don't need to manually draw the closing line. Z says, snap me back to where I started, and neatly close the loop. It's like clicking your pen back onto the first dot, sealing the shape properly. Without Z, your shape remains open, and it won't fill properly. Always remember, if you want a complete fillable shape, use Z. So, in this video you learned what XMLNS, viewbox fill, and fill rule mean inside an SVG, how every path command works both visually and logically, and how to combine these commands to build real, scalable shapes. With these fundamentals, you now have the building blocks to create powerful custom graphics, whether it's for your websites, your apps, or even your user interfaces. And if you want to practice further, the complete source code of this project is available in the description below. Feel free to check it out and experiment. It takes effort to create these videos, so if you're finding them helpful, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really motivates me to make even more videos for you. Subscribe for more tips on CSS, SVG, and creative UI development. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.